Live from Matt's in Louisville, Kentucky, it's Road Dog Trucking News with your host, Mark Willis. Join the conversation now at 888-8-ROAD-DOG.
Drivers here, I want to welcome you back to the program wherever you may be listening to the sound of my dulcet tones all across North America. You are welcome to join me in the conversation. You know the phone number. It's 888-876-2336, 8888-ROAD-DOG. That is going to get you in. And, man, it is really great to be here at the Mid-America Truck Show talking with a lot of great folks. We are covering a lot of topics. There's a lot of news happening here, folks. Elaine Chow was here a little while ago. The Secretary of the Department of Transportation, Ray Martinez, is here as well, the head of the FMCSA. And they're talking with drivers. They're getting a sense, an idea of what's going on in the industry. And I know one person that certainly has been out talking with folks is Shelley Simpson with J.B. Hunt. And let's give Shelley a great round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us on the program for a little bit. She is the Executive Vice President and Chief Commercial Officer, President of Highway Services at J.B. Hunt Transport. It is really good to see you.
I'm so happy to be here, Mark.
It is really great to chat with you again. Last time we talked was a few weeks ago, back in the Dallas area, I believe, and a couple of times in between. But we were talking about the sense of the industry overall. A lot of optimism out there. Folks are feeling good. Freight is looking really good. Talk about what you're hearing from drivers. What do they say to you?
Yeah, so I would say if you can't get really excited to be here at the Mid-America Truck Show, something is really wrong, because there is a ton of enthusiasm happening in the market. And I would say, our customers are feeling good about the prognosis of this year and what they're thinking about their shipping needs will be. But also, drivers are feeling very comfortable and very good about kind of next steps and what this year will look like.
Yesterday on the program, we were talking about the importance of making sure drivers have everything at their fingertips, everything that is going to be right there for them, ready to go. Could be something in the palm of their hand from, say, their smartphone, or maybe something that's going to make their jobs a whole lot easier when they're out there, when they're looking for the next load and looking to find the best information out there. And this is where you guys have stepped up. And let's talk a little bit about J.B. Hunt 360. I mean, it's right there, convenience for the drivers to make their life a whole lot easier. What is that?
It is. It sounds like, Mark, you know a little bit about J.B. Hunt 360. Yeah. So for us, we had this really big idea to say, we have lots of billions of dollars of freight with customers and bids that we do on a regular basis, and we have lots of relationships with our own drivers and also carriers. And what if we were to create an environment where it'd be much simpler to do business together? Because when in a world where 3.5 million drivers have such waste in the system, of 1/3 of all hours are completely wasted, not driving, you start to think about what the job really is like and how we can transform that job into something so much better. If we can eliminate waste, Mark, it totally changes things. So I always say, drivers love to do what they love to do, which is drive, be on the road. And so if we can take the complexity out of the job, which is which load do I really want? Is it close to where I'm at? What's happening at the shipping and receiving locations? A platform can create transparency to that data and that information, allowing drivers to really have a better experience, spend more time doing what they love, which is driving, and then saving money ultimately is our end goal for drivers.
And when, say, a driver wants to sign up for JB Hunt 360, say, would they go to the app, or would they go through maybe the website, or what's the easiest way?
Yep, so they can download our app from the App Store. That'd be JB Hunt Carrier 360, or they also can just come to jbhunt.com, click on Carrier 360. It's a pretty easy process, Mark.
Yep.
So for them, they've never done business with us before. It's about a 10-minute sign-up process from the time they start to the time they're ready to start looking inside for shipments, bidding or booking now on shipments, and they're really ready for dispatch on their next load, all within just a few minutes.
Having that access to that next load has really got to be a great sense of relief for so many drivers, because like you mentioned, it does eliminate that waiting time, which can be so numbing. Just knowing that they've got that access there, they're ready to go, just click it, and they're off and running.
What's so frustrating, Mark? Even when you have a shipment, there's expectations of the shipment that you're going to run. And so oftentimes for some drivers, they know exactly the shipper and the lane that they're going to move and what to expect. But for so many of carriers and drivers that are in the market, they actually don't know what's going to happen at the ship location. So think of it this way. If we start to share through transparency what's happening at shipping and receiving locations, we have over 30,000 locations that are rated, Mark, that now we can share to carriers with over 200,000 reviews. that's not us saying what their experience is going to be like. That's them listening to each other, exactly what can happen. You know, I participate in some of the chat sessions and load views, and so I get an opportunity to hear drivers speak on a regular basis about their frustration, and I'll read a comment that says, my very first load, I went into the shipper,
Sure.
they really weren't that nice, and it took me 4 hours to load. I'm so frustrated. And all I could think was, oh my gosh, if they had the data and they had that transparency like they can get through Carrier 360, they would know that. And the frustration really isn't about the waiting, it's the price that they have negotiated on the shipment. So if they know that up front, and they could say, wait a minute, this location is not going to treat me the best, and more importantly, I'm going to be waiting for 4 hours. Think of what that's going to change their experience when they say, okay, well, I'll wait 4 hours, but you're going to pay me for those 4 hours
Exactly.
on the front end.
Now, can a driver that utilizes this, can they see loads in transit? Talk about that.
Sure,
How
yeah.
does that
So
work?
think of it like this, Mark. You really have the ability to see thousands of shipments at any one time, whether you're actually hauling the loads or if you're interested in those loads. So let's say that you are a carrier and you have several drivers that run for you. You can see all of those drivers. You can actually make the assignment inside our application straight to the driver, and you can track what's happening inside that shipment. So you really get easy access. Think of it like this. We really evaluated how do carriers interact today in a traditional method. Now you think about the waste that happens for a driver that really just wants to be on the road. We eliminated and streamlined last year really all the manual touch points. So if a carrier comes in and they haven't done business with us before, so they're here at Matt's, we literally just had one right here at the booth.
Sure.
Took us 10 minutes to get him signed up, ready to go, and he started searching and said, I've got a load booked and ready to go for tomorrow.
Oh, man.
Now, when they
That's
get going, Mark, and they're tracking straight there from their mobile application,
Sure.
when they arrived at that location, we're going to auto-notify them and say, hey, we think you've arrived. We automatically check them in for a detention process. So we start the clock on their behalf to say, you know what, you've arrived in 2 hours. If you've not made your load call, we're going to take them to a reminder to say, hey, are you still there? Because if so, we think you're eligible for detention. Through that process, they'll do the exact same thing on the receiving end. And Mark, when they're finished, we'll remind them, scan your documents right here, submit your bill straight in the mobile application, and in 2 days we'll fund your banking account, all for free.
It's just right there.
And it's just different. It's changing the way we do business. And in this case, it's making it so much better to be a truckload driver.
Yeah, looking at this also, too, like, say for a driver wanted to get access to, like, DOT documents. Is that all in there as well? What is in there available for the driver?
So for a driver, anything that we have done together is going to be located inside their application. So from our contract in the very beginning to any of the shipments that we've moved, any of the documents, they no longer have to think, where is that document for JB Hunt that I did a week ago? They actually can go back and see reporting on that. So if they want to check out what happened a week ago, a month ago, they have access to that.
Drivers, hey, if you want to jump in, I'd love to get you into the conversation. Come on in and join us and say hello to my guest on the program right now. I've got Shelley Simpson. She is the Executive VP, Chief Commercial Officer, President of Highway Services at JB Hunt Transport. We're talking about JB Hunt 360, a lot of great stuff out there, guys. It's all designed to make your life a whole lot easier while you're out there on the road. And Shelley, again, thank you for spending a few minutes with us. And the mobile applications, is it available, say, through the web stores or maybe through Apple Store or the Google Store? How can you do it?
Every single thing you just said, Mark. And listen, if you don't know, call us at 1-800-4JB-HUNT. We'll walk you through the process.
And, looking at the online carrier setup, like you mentioned, it being very, very simple to go through, this could be any kind of application, I would imagine. Could it be maybe oversized or refrigerated or those kind of loads?
That's exactly right. So we have started with our dry van freight. We've moved the platform into refrigerated and flatbed. And right now, Mark, we have integrated our power-only move. So carriers that perform dray for us inside intermodal, also on the final mile services. So think a box truck application. We're integrating them into the platform as well. So our contract carriers that really help us with our freight that moves in the final mile part of our program is moving onto the platform this year. So the platform is really built for all shipments, and that's what we're integrating through the process.
And points. I want to get into a little bit of the conversation about that when we come back out of the break. And I'm going to update what's going on with the weather. And ladies and gentlemen, hey, if you want to get on board and chat with Shelley Simpson, the phone number, it's 888-876-2336. That number is good all across North America. Jump in, folks, if you got any sort of comment or question for Shelley. Let me update what's going on with the weather. Let's do that now. Coming up on 48 minutes after, right here on SiriusXM.
Welcome back to Road Dog Trucking News with your host, Mark Willis. Live
Drivers,
from Matt's,
want to welcome
the Mid-American Trucking Show in Louisville, Kentucky.
I want to welcome you back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being out there. And again, the phone number, if you'd love to get on board, it's 888-876-2336. And yeah, we were talking about making the life of the driver that much easier out there because drivers want technology, they want convenience out there, and I've got a great example of great convenience for you guys. I've got Shelley Simpson with me. She's the Executive Vice President, Chief Commercial Officer, President of Highway Services at J.B. Hunt Transport, and we are talking about what's going on with J.B. Hunt 360. Really appreciate you joining me on the show. And drivers, during the commercial break, Shelley was showing me how easy this is to get on board this platform. It's like 1, 2, 3 clicks on your smartphone, your iPhone, and you're in. It's that simple.
It's that simple, Mark. You know, we couldn't imagine that we would have thought to develop something that would be so fast 5 and 10 years ago because we just thought that's the way business moved, that maybe EDI and maybe a computer that we need. But now we've got things right at the palm of our fingertips. It makes things so different.
It's amazing. All right, let's go to the phones. First up, we're going to go to Bayou Boy, who's on the telephone with us in the great state of Texas. Hello, Bayou Boy. You're on with Shelley Simpson, sir. Welcome.
Hey, thank you for taking my call. Hey, Shelley. I got 2 questions for you. One is the JB Hunt 360. Does that include the company drivers also, or just owner-operators?
Hey, that's a really great question. Tell me more specifically what you're speaking about.
Well, I've thought about coming on to JB Hunt. So that's why I was just trying to figure out about that.
Yep. So 360 is really designed to be able to create the most efficient way to move shipments for both drivers, carriers, and for our customers. So we've incorporated 360 into our entire platform. So we use that on the asset side of our business, and we also extend that out to carriers now. So for years and years, we've only done that internally. Now we're able to take that 50 plus years of experience and extend that out so that really any driver can benefit, whether they drive for JB Hunt or they drive for a carrier.
Okay, and then how much is it pay for to drive for JB Hunt, you know?
How much is, I'm sorry?
To pay.
Well, it depends on your experience and it depends on which job that you would be interested in. jbhunt.jobs would be the best place to check where a load could be available or a job that would be available that you'd be interested in. We've got local, regional, over the road, any type of work that you're looking at. You know, we have over 17,000 drivers, and pretty much any type of work that you're looking for, we have that job for you.
Okay. All right, well, I'll look into it. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Appreciate the phone call. Anthony in Missouri. Hello, Anthony. You are next, sir. You're on with Shelley.
Yes, I've got a question. I've been hearing a lot about your Carrier 360 app with the dry van and the reefers. Are you guys going to be looking at getting into different sectors of the transportation? Like currently, I pull hopper bottom. Is that dry bulk? Is that going to be a direction that you guys see yourself going, or are you going to stick with the traditional sectors?
So, Anthony, really great question. We are here right now at Matt's doing what we love to do best, which is talking directly to drivers to really find out what are you looking for? What are the things that we can do to really help you save money, create a better experience, and give you more time back so you're able to drive on the road. And so if that's something that you would be interested in, it's something we would like to know more about overall. But I will tell you this, the more and more that we're integrating into the platform, we're now doing thousands of loads every single day in the platform. Thousands. So think of it like this. We're now having around 10,000 carriers every single day interact in the platform. And that goes up and down, Mark, by thousands. Sure. But just south of 600,000 trucks now interacting in the platform. on a regular basis. And the more that we build that platform, the more it starts to make sense to look at things exactly like you just said, Anthony. So we'll continue to be adding more and more equipment. I talked earlier that we are integrating our intermodal dray. We're integrating the final mile side of our business, but really any shipment that moves in North America, that's really our objective, to be able to make that easier for drivers.
And Anthony, do you want to work in a particular region, or do you want to go over the road, or what's your ultimate goal?
Well, I mean, currently I run upper Midwest, Southwest, and some East. So, I mean, I'm based out of North Dakota right now, you know, so that's the nice little circle that I run. I'm in the process of paying off my truck and just trying to look at the long-term kind of thing of what are my options.
All right, very good, man. I appreciate it. And, Shelley, you guys help folks with that, right? Looking at their options, developing plans for the long term. That's why you guys are there for that.
Absolutely. 1-800-4JB Hunt. We'd love to have that conversation.
All right, before I let you go, we talked about the great stuff about what 360 is doing. A lot of points are involved here. Let's talk about those partnerships. A lot of exciting things.
Yeah, really exciting for us, Mark. As we started last year, we introduced what we called our Perks program, and that really allowed us to extend our purchasing really on behalf of the carrier community. And so being able to take what's been a mega carrier only secret, if you will, and being able to take that out. And so we rolled that out. But at the beginning of this year, we extended that into what we call our members program. So we have gold, silver, and 360 members. And at each one of those levels, Mark, you start to gain more and more from a points perspective. So our gold level carriers, they actually receive 4 incremental cents of rebate from JB Hunt on their fuel. So
cool.
Not only do they get 18 cents off the credit price, they also get an incremental 4 cents of rebate from us, and then still get their 5 points. But we also give them 1 full year of free SiriusXM.
Oh, even better.
And that's a huge win for them. As we know, you have millions of drivers that are listening on a regular basis. We want to really enable that. We also give them up to 35% off on Goodyear overall. And then Quick Pay, is always free inside our mobile application. But if you want to do it just the regular way at that level, we'll give you 7 days pay.
Outstanding. I'm almost out of time. Really good to see you.
So good to see you,
Let's
Mark.
get that website out there again. Phone numbers. How can drivers find you?
Yep, it's www.jbhunt.com. Real simple, Carrier 360 direct, and then 1-800-4JB-HUNT.
Outstanding.
Yeah,
Shelley,
thank you, Mark.
Great
Yeah,
to see you
appreciate it.
again.
Yeah.
Let's give her a nice round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.